And why do you think it's important, or how would it help us thinking in terms of evolution, returning to this origin, having the chance to reconnect with this impersonal force, to understand it, to feel it?
What beautiful questions you ask. Look, depth psychology has tried to make us be able to understand with that rational Western mind just how we are structured. I think following the latest, which are no longer theories, but evidence that neuroscience gives us, helps us to know our personality. But returning to the origin is something else. It's another level. It's returning to our roots. I would dare to say, like Eliade, it's recognizing that we have a structure of being. And there's the difference. I mean, I can really say, yes, I know my personality. As it says, traditions say that that has a number of functions, right? And it's necessary to have them. The egoic, the personality must be developed. Otherwise, how? But that's not all. The origin, in a sense, is really our roots as human beings. If we return to the origin, not physically, but at a level of understanding of consciousness, we would understand really what you are proposing, no longer as a concept, but as an experience, the sacred that was always manifested because it is. It's not that it's there. It always is. It has always been there. It's recognizing it. So in that sense, going to the origin and looking at the structure of being gives another level, another relationship with the world, with people, with oneself, and with humanity. And above all, realizing, look, without wanting to say with this that science says that, but science has proposed something extraordinary. It says that our origin is in Africa. Do you see? And for us, if that doesn't change us, doesn't help us have a level of consciousness, it's that we're letting reason play us, and play us quite badly. At the moment when we are able to see that the origin of humanity was feeling, perceiving, being with that impersonal force, it would also give us the chance to see the evolutions that humanity has undergone. Eliade makes a proposal that I find extraordinary, and he proves it. He proves it with all the data he provides. Religions, institutionalized, that have dogmas, that have institutions, even philosophy, had as their basis the initial knowledge that he calls shamanism. That is the basis. Why? Because that is our structure as beings and of all humanity. And even more, the invitation today is to recognize that being where we were born, where we grew up, because those are our roots, without ignoring that all this occurred with other names, in other places that are seemingly different, but if one looks, they follow the same structure. So identifying ourselves with humanity, which we are lacking, that these are probably the steps that humanity will have to follow, renouncing that terrible ego that has developed in this world, which is the Western world. We know very little of the East, so I can't speak of it. But in the West, one sees. I'm going to tell you something that that our traditions say, the ones from here. Alpa Mamita, Mother Earth. When one lives within the tradition, one feels that power, impersonal, one lives it without needing explanations. Where does that idea come from, that Alpa Mamita protects me? Alpa Mamita is also terrible. Alpa Mamita sustains me, gives me everything. She also gets hungry. I also have to feed her. I must not treat her as a resource. She also needs to rest. Well, from that origin, from that structure of being, because she is also a being. With that logic, do you think it would be possible to hear, as I heard a gentleman when there was those interventions for the popular referendum that took place? One of them said with enormous pride, right? It's that the referendum passed. How is it possible not to change this constitution that gives rights to the land that is only for ignorant people? Well, it happens that, where was he speaking from? From the ego. That our traditions are capable of recognizing, of living. I'm not saying that all the indigenous people, because they have lost much of their tradition, of their traditions. But those who live consciously know that the Alpa Mamita thing is not folklore. That respect is not folklore for Mother Earth. That she is alive, that she is a living being, and even more that we are in her, we are of her, we are her children. That is part of that living, of returning to the origin. How not to return? So it is not about considering. Someone would say, let's see. So if in our lands, for example, it is said that the shore culture is the one that at least until the 20th century has maintained all its theogony, its worldview, that impersonal force they call Arutam. And it is considered one of the most extraordinary cultures that was analyzed by very valuable people. It's not that I have to go back to living like, no, recovering the origin is not about returning to the past, but about recognizing the principles that are still there, because those have not changed. And living according to those principles, which is different, which is totally different. It is not about romanticizing, saying that the past was better. Not at all. Despising, I mean, both are a rupture. And the structure of being is not a rupture. The rupture has been necessary, but it is not a rupture.
It is integration. And what are these principles, Gloria?
Look, those fundamental principles lie precisely in the sense of unity. Understanding that sense of unity in a profound way, the cosmos as a living being. That is not considering that only they are alive, or how plants are, how they're classified, or animals because they move, or us. No. It's that life manifests itself. And it manifests in the cosmos. It manifests in Mother Earth. And as our people say, right? The Yaku Mamita, which has life, which has a spirit, which is a living organism, which is that sense of unity that also allows us, look, to live duality as integration. If we look at that duality, that's how the cosmos works. That's how it works. We can see that duality with simpler examples, night and day. But look at our lands, for example, which is a principle extraordinary. If we return to unity, let's go to duality. The cosmos is made this way, and science says so, if you will, in scientific terms. The Aini, that duality is reflected, it's in everything. We can talk about the feminine principle, the masculine principle. How that duality is reflected, it's not struggle, it's not separation. As a principle, it's not that. It's complementarity. Just as day and night complement each other. I remember what I'm telling you, what Taita Segundo told me, right? I mean, Ukupacha and Kaipacha, it's not that they're interrelated. It's not like Ukupacha is up to here and then from here to there. No, 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 Mama. That's only thinking. Thinking here. Feel it? You see? So duality is complementarity. It's not like the dialectic they once taught or the struggle of opposites, because they're not opposites, they're complementary. So if I understand that as a principle, if I manage to live that as a principle, the application would be enormous. You can see in the night and day that the principle of complementarity, this principle of complementarity occurs. It's a lie that you can say, even though we live in the lands of the equinox and that we have that balance between night and day, the same number of hours, right? Despite that, we can see, we look towards Rukuyaya Pichincha and we see a wonderful painting. One part of a beautiful light blue sky and another part of a gray that is softly tinting, and in another a stronger gray. And over there some reds coming from the coast. And it is 7 at night and they complement each other. And in the same way, if you wake up early, 5 or 6 in the morning, you see how faintly the darkness begins to dissipate, right? And that is how it is in everything. But if we manage to see that, to see it as a principle, then unity duality as complementarity. And if we look at other levels, west and east, which unfortunately now is so hard, but it is we who are responsible for those levels of consciousness to arise. That is why the Taitas say that the shaman certainly has that impersonal force that makes him, but he also has to make himself. So it is our responsibility to see those principles and to apply them. And the good thing is that science, especially neuroscience, is giving us elements. So that reason, which wants to keep playing with reason well and looks for evidence, well, can do so because neuroscience is also speaking about those complementarities.
Dear Gloria, and regarding, yes, as for the final question about the work you have done with the project that you now share on social media, on YouTube, that you have opened up this way to humanity. What can you tell us about that? Why have you done it? And perhaps if you expect something from it, or what do you want to say about it?
What an interesting question. Look, since we have talked about all we have talked about, I can say in a sincere way that arose from a dream. The dream was that it was fundamental to do that work, but that I had to go on a pilgrimage beforehand, in which you helped me to create the structure. I asked you for help since you had pilgrimaged through those lands with other goals, each one with their own reality. But I had to go and look for all the ancient gods of our lands and ask them. And if they said yes, to ask for their blessing. And I did that. Of course, many ancient gods were in museums, but it did not matter still. They have the impersonal force. And so when I returned, I sincerely had no hesitation or anything. I learned to handle the basics. And obviously I follow what all the traditions say, all of them. When there is a written sacred text, it must be read as is, and one must distinguish between the text, the sacred one, because that is where enlightenment is, where the mechanisms are for the human being to reach those levels of consciousness, for that transmutation, as alchemy says. And I obviously make comments like now. Comments, questions that my soul asks itself and that allow delving deeper into the themes in the work to unite, as I have learned, thanks to the work, to make analogies, transpositions. Suddenly, one thing, another thing. This over here, and it jumps out, right? But no. Honestly, I don't really have any objective. Something that a wonderful instrument in the Bhagavad Gita teaches you to work from the first psychological purpose is to renounce the fruits of action. The dream set it in motion. The dream will decide what to do with it. Just like that, it's that simple. What I do feel, that is indeed a feeling, is that the work I was asked to do is simply no longer for me. Well, for me too, because I'm part of it, but it's thinking about humanity, thinking about humanity.
So how lovely, Gloria. Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you.